Welcome, Capricorns, to your general October 1st through the 15th bi-weekly reading. This is an energy update for the Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Jupiter Capricorns, or you're cross-watching for such. So welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in to my show, Spiritual Quiet Storm. I'm your host, Reina Rochelle. You can find all of the information, energy updates, access to subscriptions at the website, spiritualquietstorm.com. And for personal readings or any other information on services and products, you can email me at spiritualquietstorm@gmail.com. So without further ado, happy harvest season. We are officially into autumn, into fall. We have crossed over into a new season. So we want to dive into what Spirit has for us as far as how we are leading areas in our life, leading and living our purpose, and leading and living the people around us, or leading the people around us in our lives, and how that's playing out. And immediately, there are some key dates that I want you to know, and that's October the 5th, the 6th, the 10th, and the 12th. Also, the 3rd is here, and the 1st is here, and the 11th. So, and then there's heavy energy around the 10th of October, so I don't know it could be, something very significant in your particular life, your personal or professional life, that takes peak by October the 10th. At that point, we're, about halfway into that new moon energy that's occurring in Libra. And for you, Capricorn, that energy is in your 10th house, which is a house that you guys rule. This is straight up about your career, your reputation, your leadership, your life goals, your purpose, ultimately, and, things, major life goals, what you're doing as a parent or with parents, your boss, authority figures, teachers, judges. This is all that type of arena, as far as you having a new moon with new opportunities to accomplish those initiatives. So immediately I have you yourself coming in as worrying or balancing or doing some work on your physical health, your body image, you yourself, your strength, your energy, your vitality, how energized are you feeling, how you yourself are feeling within your career, how you feel and how you think about your life and where you are at in your career and at this point, stage, and age of your life. So I want to talk about that today because I see where your head and your mind may be in conflict, and it's completely affecting your vitality and your energy, your physical health, how energized you are, and how your physical body may be feeling. Some of you all may need to go to a healer, to a doctor, a homeopathic, holistic type of doctor, or even, some sort of specialist during this time as the sun is in Libra. I definitely see you starting new with a specialist to kind of assist you with your physical health. You could be starting a new diet. You could be changing your lifestyle. So that's beyond dieting for me. That is, your mind and your heart now agrees that your food, which gives you vitality, which gives you energy, which is a source of elevating your frequency for you to achieve your life goals. There's an actual lifestyle shift here, and you are physically showing up. You may implement more fruits and vegetables to elevate your frequency and to achieve your goals. Because I see some of you, the Capricorns, are building a new empire or building a new sense of, a new career here, or building a new career, or building a new aspect of themselves. And it may include creative expression, or creative expression is helping you. Balancing your chakras are helping you. And right now, at the root, you seem off balance because you're not coming to the table fully energized, filled with vigor, and in a good, upstanding, tip-top shape and good health. So some Capricorns, that may be a message that during this time, it's time to see a specialist. It's time to get with a healer. It's time to get with others who can assist you in the strength and the vitality of your body within. How you ground yourself. How practical are you? What presence are you taking, in nature? Because I see that for some other Capricorns, that energy needs to be balanced. So if it's not your physical body, it's, actually your roots. How practical and stable are you in your career? Your routine, your day-to-day, how is that achieving your bottom line and your personal income? Because your mind and your heart, again, has to agree. And there's something that you've been dealing with to yourself. You've been letting go of maybe possibly some dreams. I see several of my Capricorns just walking away from things that they thought would happen for them, that it's not for this time. I hear it's not for this time in your life, and you're kind of organizing and structuring, your life for what you're going to work on and what you're going to divert some of your time, attention, and resources to during this time. And it's all work and no play here. So I see that you could be overworking yourself, and there's a time to balance some of that energy. How you're leading. Some of you are working harder and not really smarter, and not delegating some of your resources and making more efficient and productive systems. And I see you identifying that as a problem and fixing that, or finding a specialist or an advocate that can help you manifest that. Working together, co-creating to create. I see that as something that you're doing, but you first have to ground yourself within the career, or get into something that grounds you and lay roots down with it. So for those that resonates with this, it's some things that you have invested a great deal of time in are coming to an end. I see that either you're choosing to walk away from it because it needs some evolution, and you're going to go back to a certain dream, because you've left something out in the cold. You have walked away from something, and you're going to pick it back up. I see immediately in your future, during this time, during October, you're picking back some of the things that have been unleft or unsettled, left undone. And you're deciding to move ahead. And as you make that decision, you jump from the Ace of Swords to the Six of Swords. So whatever decision and clarity or documentation that you may put into play, definitive decision, you have the victory in it. And you also move ahead with good news about it. Good news about it. So there's a new beginning here on the table where your dream is concerned. And there is some sort of confusion or procrastination. You may feel too old. You may feel like it's delusional. You may feel that you may have some words associated with these feelings and this new beginning that you feel like, is self-sabotaging, or you feel like you want to escape this dream, or you can't escape this dream. So you go into seeing what needs to be done and investing into yourself and into you getting ahead by any means necessary. So cut your cords. That's the advice that Spirit has for you today, is to cut your cords of fear. Addictions that may be in the way. I do feel a strong addictive type of energy here with food, with regard to either you're smoking or drinking too much, or you're drinking too many wines, or you are too much liquor, or too much sex, or too many random strange sexual encounters. That is, your vitality is wasting away. And instead of feeling energized to put forth and yield fruits, the fruits of your labor, to put forth the energy and the labor to yield positive fruits. It's like, whatever the energy and the labor that you're laboring for, the fruits that you're laboring for, it's not yielding. You're having profitless labor. That's what I'm just dancing around, profitless labor. And it's the time to now change. I see the Spirit of God, the hand of God coming in here, because you're His people. and you are a spiritual-minded community, and either that or you're identifying or getting accountability with a spiritual-minded community, a resource, a light worker, a healer, a counselor, a counseling department, some sort of psychological or psychiatric care, and you're taking care of your physical health. And it's time to, because the specialist that's here is going to catapult you into a new direction. And it's going to give you the energy to build what you need to build, heal away what needs to heal. Take the time to balance out your passion and what you love to do with what you're here to do. So there's a difference between 6th house and 10th house. The mundane work that you do and work of your hand is totally different than your purpose, because sometimes you're working to get to your purpose. So some of you are going from the 6th house to the 10th house. Or some of you are using, a bridge to using the job that you do now to get to the other side, to get to your passion. So you need to heal away something that you're addicted to, the way that you get on the hamster wheel to go to work, some sort of 9 to 5, some of the routines, some of the things that are going on in the mundane of your life, what you're doing, your local short trips, the back and forth, where you go in the morning, when you come back home, and what you did in between during that time needs to be assessed. And leaders lead from the inside out. So we're reading and receiving messages from the Leadership Promises for Your Week book by John C. Maxwell, and we're reading from week 32. We're leading from the inside out. You could have energies building in the week of October the 5th, or specifically on the day of October the 5th. So about halfway into this energy, you do start to see this, you may start to see this resonate, or these messages start to resonate with your life. So lead from the inside out. Psalm 78, verse 72. So he shepherded them according to the integrity of his heart and guided them by the skillfulness of his hands. God's promise to leaders during this time is there is going to come a time of testing at Judgment Day to see what kind of work each builder has done. Your life purpose, again, is your innate ability to build and create brings you a deep sense of accomplishment. What you're building. There is going to come a time of testing at Judgment Day to see what kind of work each builder has done. Can your house stand? Everyone's work will be put through the fire to see whether or not it keeps its value. If the work survives the fire, that builder will receive an award. And I see you receiving an award. But first, paying the price to play later. If the work survives the fire, the builder will receive the reward. But if the work is burned up, the builder will suffer a great loss. The builders themselves will be saved, but like someone escaping through a wall of fire. So I see some of you all may have came through this tower moment where you're letting go of something that has been supporting you for a long time. You may be just leaving a job, and it is a time where you need financial assistance, and you're now coming to a position where optimistically and thankfully and you're very grateful that there's new relief and happy changes that come from these challenging times. That scripture came from 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 13 through 15. A leader's promise to your team, say your team that's supporting you, that's loyal to you, that's helping you build. Your promise to your team is, I will value you as people, praise your efforts, and reward you based on your performance. So performance is key. Are you building a house that stands? Are you leading from the inside out? So join us through the resources at Spiritual Quiet Storm. Get the extended of this message here, Capricorn, at our website, SpiritualQuietStorm.com. To schedule a private read, you can also always email me if you don't want to go to the website at SpiritualQuietStorm@gmail.com. As we dive deeper into this about how you're building and the specialist that you're getting into, consider us at Spiritual Quiet Storm a resource for you and your initiatives. So we're not out of information, but we're out of time. So I am wishing you a happy harvest time. Thank you so much for tuning into our show. I appreciate your love and your shares, your support and your likes. Until next time, have a happy harvest.